Be sure to cook. Welcome back to another show of Be Sure to Cook. Today we're making fried cabbage. So stay tuned and let's do this. Okay, today making our fried cabbage, we're going to need some pork fat, pork banking fat. Now let me tell you something about banking. There's all kind of banking out there nowadays, and they call it banking today. They call it hard smoke. You want to discontinue that hard smoke. You don't want to get that type of bacon because that doesn't have the natural hickory flavor that bacon used to have. And believe me, it's disgusting. So you want to look for a bacon that probably has hickory smoked bacon. And you want to make sure, yes, this is hickory smoked. And it smells like hickory. So I've got a couple strips of bacon here that I pulled out, and I actually got the hickory smoke, because if you get that hard smoked or hard wood smoke, you're not gonna be getting what you're looking for, and your food's not gonna come out with that smoky flavor that you're looking. That's just a cheap way of people nowadays just trying to be cheap. Don't want to put that hickory wood into that food when it smokes, so it makes it taste bland and nasty. Apple and all that and maple, hey, if you want to use it, but I'm with the old-fashioned. I want that hickory smoke. So anyway, I've got about, let me see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, about five strips of bacon that I have here, and I'm just going to cut these in half, and I'm going to cut these in like little strips, right? Okay, yeah. I don't want to cut my hand here. I'm like pulling it. My knife is not, I don't have my knife really sharp, really sharp, because I'm scared of it. I've got it sharp enough, but I'm pulling my fingers. I want these to be cut in like little strips, little dice strips. You want to make sure that these are cut in dices. So let me go ahead and complete this, because I don't want to keep talking to you. So let me go ahead and cut these up, show you what they are, and we'll get cooking with this. Alright, I had to make sure my board is dry where I cleaned that off. I've already diced up my bacon, and here it is in a bowl. And you can see they're just little strips of bacon, you know, little fine strips of bacon. And I've got my pan, gonna turn on my pan, and we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna cook and surrender this bacon. So let's do this. All right, we're gonna add our bacon. Like I said, it's 6 strips of bacon. We're gonna put this in here and fry. All right. Okay, so we wanna cook this, surrender this down, because what we're looking for is we also looking for the crispy bits of the bacon, but we're really looking for the fat content. Now, another thing, guys, I usually, when I do bacon for my family, I usually buy my bacon, I usually put it in the oven, I usually cook it, I usually cool it down, strain the fat into a freezer jar or wherever you can freeze your stuff at. You just drain that, you freeze it, and you can have that for, you know, whatever you need it. It's frozen, so you get it out, you take a chunk out, you put it in your dishes or any kind of stuff that you need baking fat for. I do that, and that's a good tip for you. But in the meantime, what I want to do is I want to go ahead and cook this down, get all the fat, because I'm going to leave all this fat in here. But I want the bacon too, because I'm going to put the crispy bits of bacon inside this cabbage. So let's just cook this down. In the meantime, we're going to be adding some other stuff. Okay, these are the cabbage I got. Usually they get bigger heads than this. In a cabbage, you're going to have to really kind of watch how you cut this cabbage. Okay, so I've been stirring and trying to crisp up my bacon, and I want a little bit more crispy, so I'm just going to continue to let it cook. Okay, I've already cut off the tip. That's the back part. I started to cut this part and I stopped and cut off the tip because that's why I was having a hard time. So I'm going to go in from where I started off the first, and I'm just going to go right on down in here like so. Be careful when you do this, guys. I'm looking for the core. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for that little core that I'm going to take out of there. And that's what the core looks like. You see it? See the ring? That's the core. Okay, let's chop these up. Okay, and that bacon looks like it's good. And that's all that oil that we need in there. Look at that. Instead of me taking this oil, putting it in something and letting it cool down, and then throwing it in a container and putting it in the freezer, I'm going to be using this today. So I'm not going to be doing this today. And all these bacon bits, I'm going to take out, put these to the side, and I'm going to keep the oil. Keep this oil. And let's come back and let's do it. Okay, I'm on the other side of the other one. And I'm going to try to pop that core out. There you go. So there's two different cores on two different ones. I'm going to turn that to the side. I'll start off with this one. I'm going to cut it down again. And I'm going to cut it down again. I got the smaller ones, and I'm just going to size these, you know, like in quarters. Small quarters, though. Watch out, because cabbage can be very hard, and you can cut your hand. So just let you know. I've been dealt with cabbage for so long, you know, not saying that I don't get cut. Believe me, I had my fair share. Okay, so I'm just gonna take these and getting a baby, if it's just for you or a girlfriend or wife or just two of you all, getting something small like that would be great. Cooking a whole big one maybe, and my husband got these, and I was like, wait a minute, these are really small. And he said, these are the best kind. So I don't know what he was talking about. He used to work years ago in produce, so I don't know. But I thought cabbage was all cabbage, but I guess it's not actually. But I just think that what happened is they just took out some leaves because it wasn't no good and got the good stuff. That's what I think. So don't tell him I said that. But so I'm just going to tear these up a little bit because I'm going to wash this. I'm always make sure you wash all your vegetables, all your meat products, everything you get in the store. Now, hamburger is one thing. You can't wash that, but make sure you do cook that very well done or medium, however you want it, but make sure it is cooked. Do not eat that raw. So let me do this and finish up these, and then we'll wash these and we'll cut up the other ones, and we'll be back to cook this. Okay, I'm going to be throwing in my cabbage. I ended up doing into the fat. What I did is I drained some of the fat inside of a little bowl. And I'm going to be windowing this cabbage down. So inside here, I got some red pepperoncinos. And these are really, really hot because these have been sitting. So I'm just going to add like a little, just like a pinch. See, a pinch. Then I'm going to add more cabbage on top of that. Pepperoncinos. See, I'm packing it in and pushing it down because this cabbage is going to surrender all of its juices. So I'm going to be adding probably some more pepperoncinos in there a little later. And I'm trying to take this cabbage and I'm trying to scoop it from the bottom to the top. Okay, I've been stirring this up until with the oil. I'm going to take it and I'm going to take some bacon and I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of this bacon because I'm going to use it all, but a little bit on top, and let this finish cooking. Letting all that bacon get down at the bottom with the cabbage. Pepperoncinos. Yum, yum, yum. Okay, I'm gonna add some cracked black pepper to this for taste, and it is gonna be tasty. I'm also gonna add just a little garlic powder, just a tiny bit. I don't usually add that, but I do add that all the time, but not a lot, I mean. And of course, I'm gonna add some Mrs. Dash blend in here, a little of that. You know, for your taste. You know, no measurements on this. It's just eyeball to however you feel. Get it seasoned up. Stir this up right away if you can. Because you got the bacon fat, the bacon grease, the pepperoncinos are red pepper flakes, guys. They just call it pepperoncinos. Italians call that pepperoncinos, which we all got a little something in it stuff. I'm a mixture of everything. If I told you what I was mixed with, you'd be like, dang. My DNA is strong. My grandmother was mixed, so, and she had Irish and African, and unfortunately we got a little bit of everything. So we got Irish going on both sides, my mother and my father's side. And my father's side was mixed. So now we're going to add a little sugar to this too. Okay, I just sprinkled a little more pepperoncinos in there. Be careful with red pepper flakes. Pepperoncinos is what we call those. Be careful with those guys because they can be awful hot and very spicy. So just like sprinkle some more in there. You see some little redness in there. Now I'm going to add the rest of my bacon because I've gotten all my cabbage in there now. I had to do half and half. Then I'm just going, now that's everything. That's all my bacon and all that wonderful oil that we need. Okay. Okay, and what I'm doing is I'm keep kind of tossing this. It has no water or anything in there. It's just the fat, bacon fat, the bacon bits, and the stuff that I put in there. And I'm going to add about a teaspoon of sugar, sprinkle all over, and you want to toss that really good. Or at least you like it savory. If you don't add anything else. Just cook this down. If you like it a little crunchy, turn it off. Taste the cabbage as you go on. See how well you like it. If you like yours really cooked, really fine, just keep on cooking it. If you don't, and you like that little crunch, then hey, crunch that up and turn it off whenever you feel how you want to cook your cabbage. Mine is going to cook a little bit longer, and I'm going to cook that on a low heat. I'm just going to add a teaspoon of sugar, and I'm going to turn this down. Make sure you got to keep stirring and watching because you don't want it to burn at the bottom. I smell a little burnness, but I think a cabbage fell inside of the eye. So I get that out once I cool that down so it's not sticking or burning because I'm constantly stirring it. But if you wanted to do, this is a fried kind of cabbage, so I want it kind of like steamed with all, and look at all these great bacon bits, guys. Look at that, look at all that in there. All that seasoning stuff, can you see that? That is delicious. Okay, this cabbage is about done for me. I like a little crunch to mine, not a big crunch, but I want it a little crunch. That's the way I like it. If you like yours a little bit more tender or super tender, cook it as long as you want. But this is what I'm calling a delicious cabbage, and it's got a little heat to it, a little country bacon to it, and all kind of seasons. Don't forget that sugar, guys, at the end. If you keep it in the crunch form, it'll be so wonderful when you put it on there. Make sure you evenly do the tablespoon of sugar, and then evenly stir that through all of the cabbage. You're making sure it touches everything. And don't forget, do that also with the bacon fat and the bacon, and make sure that bacon bits or that bacon is everywhere in that cabbage. Let's plate this up. And here it is, guys, our fried cabbage. And like I said, it doesn't take a lot of anything to do fried cabbage. I love cabbage. It's one of my favorite dishes. You can make this dish with anything. You can do it by itself if you want. You can make this dish with meatloaf or fried pork chops. Smothered fried pork chops is what I'm going to be fixing on my next show. You can do this with that. You can do it with anything. And I'm going to be having this with those fried smothered pork chops. You can do this with anything you want. I want you all to come back so we can do other dishes. Come back and see us soon. Please like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We love having you. Let's come back and do another show with me and you. Don't forget, guys, me and you, we made this together. We did this dish. This is our dish. Hey, come back. I love you guys. Bye.